Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hey everyone, it's good to see you all. Thanks for being here today. I'm still not feeling quite 100%, so bear with me on this because I'm kind of a little bit scattered today, it feels like to me. So anyway, but I have a lot of information coming through, and it's really, really interesting because this past week, even with me not feeling so good, the bird energy and flying. Hey, Ruth, thanks for joining me. And of course, Tiffany is here too, so that's so cool. So anyway, so the bird energy is what's coming in for me today, and the flyers, the flying beings. And so it's really interesting because it all started out with me actually having to sit down and read, you guys. Which I don't normally do. I know I talk about it all the time now because I feel like I'm reading more now than ever because I have been feeling a little bit under the weather, with the stomach flu, and now this one's like the head cold or something. I don't know. But anyway, so this is where I'm at, and I'm not sure why, but I think I'm kind of being sat down and told that I need to start reading more and really starting to do more research. I have a project that I want to get going with. And thank you so much, Ruth. She says, sending you tons of love, light, and healing energy. Feel better. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm on antibiotics because I had to take them. So hopefully they'll start working soon. But anyway, so with that being said, it's just been a very interesting, out of something bad always comes something good. And so for me, I try to, like I said to you all before, all good is my motto, or try to be that, whenever I'm feeling down and out and a little depressed or whatever, I always just tell myself, okay, all good, all good. And then as soon as I say that, it, helps pull me out of this energy of, this downtrodden type energy, and helps lift me back up into where I need to be so that I can continue to grow and understand, why we are here, which is a lot of fun. So anyway, so I'm working on this project, and it's a big, huge, daunting deal, basically. And I've actually been putting it off. And the reason why I'm mentioning this to you is because I want to explain something to you about us as human beings, being beings. So from our past history of what we were in our lives, in our own personal lives, we've made mistakes. We've had things happen, that have kind of like pushed back against us, instead of like sending us forward. And so what it did was it taught us lessons along the way. Now, if we think of them as lessons and don't fear them into the future where they're going to repeat themselves, then we can receive them as gifts. And as gifts, then we can see them as more of a positive aspect. So this is my journey for myself right now, is that the reason why I've been putting this project off is because I have this fear of, failure for the future because of what I have had experienced in the past. And I just don't want the same thing to happen. But the whole thing is that in the future, we can't predict it. All we can do is just try to live day to day, every single day, and just keep moving towards our goals. And a lot of times the energy will start shifting because guess what? We're in a different time zone, time frame, time everything right now. So from what I understand, time has even changed. And it's really interesting because when we talked to one of these birds today, it kind of talks about that a little bit. It's really interesting. There's a lot of transformation going on and a lot of things that are happening around us that is so much fun. So let's move forward. When I'm going to try to stay on track, but I'm a little bit, like I said, I'm a little scattered today. So the first thing I want to say is that when I was in my, I want to say early 20s, maybe even not even 21 yet. Maybe I was even 19. I'm not quite sure. Somewhere around that age. Well, anyway, I was riding horses out in the magical world of the nature, in the natural world all the time. And so I was very connected, and it was really interesting because one day I thought to myself, I want to go and see a handwriting analysis lady. Now, I have no idea why I picked handwriting analysis other than the fact that I think I read a book that was on it, and it's really interesting. And it was a fun book to read. It was about, like murder mysteries and things like that, and how they had caught the people, in lies and all of that. And there was real murders and mysteries. And such a great book to read. It was like so much fun. But anyway, it taught me about handwriting. And it was really interesting because I'm sort of an analytical person. I'm a Virgo, which we're very analytical. And so, so it was a lot of fun for me, because I'm artistic as well. And so with your handwriting, it can also be artistic. So anyway, so I thought, well, I'll go get my handwriting, evaluated. So I went and saw this lady. And like I said, I was probably closer to, I was like 20, I would say. And so I went and I saw this lady, and I didn't realize this, but she was a handwriting analysis person, but she also was extremely intuitive, so she was basically a psychic at the same time. And it was really, really interesting. So what she did was she told me, she said, once she analyzed my handwriting, and that was really cool, by the way. I don't remember all of it, but I just remember thinking this is really neat. And anyway, and then she told me that I should read this book. And so I was like, what book? And so she told me, and so I went and I bought it. And it's what the book is about an Indian who lives in Nevada. And this is back in the 70s, like 60s, 70s. And this guy in the book who's writing the book, and it's a true story. He works for the Menninger Foundation, I guess. And I want to say that's the name of it. And so he goes out there to study, the Native American ways of a medicine man. And so the medicine man is Rolling Thunder. So Rolling Thunder is this medicine man that talks about everything that is happening in the world right now with all of us. And it's so interesting because in the book, it describes everything that I want to do in this project. So to be honest with you, I wish that I would have read the book and understood it much better back then. But, timing is everything. And so that's what I'm getting to, is that even though, you have your failures and all of these other issues and problems in your past that you see as failures, they're not. They're actually gifts, once again. Hey, Christine, thanks for joining me today. So they're actually gifts that we're bringing forward into our experience for our future. And and timing is everything. That is one thing that I'm really learning, is that patience and timing are the two things that are so important for us, because we have to learn to be patient and to allow things to come to us. So that being said, I want to talk to you about what he was saying. And this is really cool. So in the book, there's a couple things. So it says this. This is pure process. Man works from the outside in. So it says when you're going through like a purification process for yourself, for your soul, and this is kind of intense. It says that man, us, works from the outside in. And it's really interesting because it says man is in and of nature, a microcosm of that universe that he can see around him. Through interaction with his environment, man learns about the natural world and then comes to understand his own nature. He becomes one with nature, one with himself, and then one with the Great Spirit. And it was really interesting because, there's so much more to this book. I mean, it talks about the great Swami Rama, I guess, is another guide. He talks about pulse and breathing, and being able to control your inside pulse and breathing and things like that, which is stuff that we're actually going to start working on in the future. This is all like future. It's not future because it's actually now, but people are actually going to start doing this more and more and more into the future because it's going to be more available to us, where we can actually get with peace, in our hearts. So you have peace, which then allows you to receive wisdom from everywhere, animals, whatever's around you, and then and all of your angels and everything, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And then from there, you learn your truth of being, because you are divine. You have a divine side of you. You have your God source, your God spark. And it's really interesting because I asked last night, I had a friend who like reminded me that we are, God, basically, that we can create whatever we want in our worlds. And this is so important for us to remember because, gosh, we get so lost and so caught up, in this outside stuff. And so the natural world really does help bring you back to your inside, inside yourself. And it's really interesting. So what I learned in the book too is this, and it was so interesting. It said that I learned a few things from the book, and that is one cannot be helped until she seeks help. One cannot be taught until she tries. One cannot be answered unless she asks. Now, it's so much fun, because animals actually act. They can act as guides, bringing you powerful messages. The universe can answer a lot of questions by presenting these beautiful beings to you, which, like we're going to talk about today, the birds and everything else. They may also ensure you that you have chosen the right path. So it does help, it helps us, learn to be a little bit more, I want to say confident in being here and recognizing that we are true creators of our own lives. And so this is a lot of fun. So the whole thing is to start really recognizing and understanding these signals and these signs, like I said, like me not feeling good and having, whatever it is I've got, and which is a sinus infection, just so you know, it's not COVID. But anyway, so the whole thing is that even though I have that, it's a gift because it's making me really sit back. Like I actually went outside and sat with the trees out in my backyard, and I haven't done that in quite some time. So this is a really good time, for me to just rest, I guess, and relax and just, try to really convene with myself, find out who this divine, where this divine spark is within me so that I can, bring it out to the world. And then also, to find that way I can become better, and become much more one with the universe, which is what we are actually working towards. So this is
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by as we resolve this issue.
All right, here we are again. Sorry about that. My internet just dropped off. Not sure why, but hey, another thing. You know how it is. Kind of a crazy day today. So what I have is a friend who actually, she's so cute. She sent me pictures of, she is what I call the butterfly whisperer. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love butterflies. And lately I've been seeing a lot of them, and they've actually been coming to me. Even in my backyard today, I had these beautiful monarch butterflies flying around me, you know, doing all these beautiful, like, aerials and all kinds of dancing and everything. And it was just absolutely gorgeous, you know, talking with them. So I wanted to talk about that, you know. So butterflies, their meaning is all about, so they go from, you know, being in a caterpillar state, which they're absolutely gorgeous as caterpillars, which I totally forgot to send that picture of the caterpillars. But anyway, and then they go to a chrysalis state. And then from there, they go into, you know, the actual cocoon for a little while, and that's where they rest. And then they turn into like this magnificent, beautiful butterfly. And they're monarch butterflies. And the monarch butterflies are orange and black. That's what colors they are. I'm sure that many people have seen them because they're very popular. But anyway, so these are the butterflies that I'm talking about, but there are so many different variations of butterflies. So butterflies help us focus on the representation of our life. Meaning that transformation is a big part of our lives. It's describing our spiritual process through life too, which is really cool. So when we transform, we must retreat from the outer world and into our inner being. And so this is what I'm talking about. You know, this is basically what the book was saying too, is that there's all different ways, you know, for us to really experience the world. And this is one way that you can do it as well. So you basically, once we are sure of our transformation, so you went in, you meditated, you know, you started to do Wu Wei. Wu Wei is so cool, by the way. It's the art of doing nothing. Now, that is not an easy thing. Believe me, I've tried it. You know, it's basically you go out, you sit on a rock or in a chair by a tree, whatever, and you try to do nothing for a while and just allow whatever information comes to you, you know, comes in. And you want to do that like throughout your life, periodically through the day. It's the art of doing nothing, meaning that you don't put your energy out into the world. You know, you're just kind of sitting and waiting. And it's a really cool, very peaceful, puts you more in a peaceful state and helps you sort of, I don't know, just relax into life is what it does. It's really cool. I love it. And so anyway, so you learn new ways of emotional intelligence. You know, why do I get so angry at this moment in time? You know, all this different types of thing. Why am I so happy right now? You know, all of that is really, really cool to like acknowledge and feel into all these emotions. And anyway, so what it does is it helps you then emerge reborn, just like the caterpillar to the butterfly, into something more magnificent. And it's just amazing. I mean, truly, truly amazing. Now, the Native Americans are very spiritually strong. Everything is symbolic, right? So the stars, and then, you know, the trees, they even speak to the bees. They do all kinds of really neat stuff. They believe that there is an individual meaning of butterfly colors as well. So yellow for them is hope. Black is illness, and then white is good luck. The butterfly in general means hope and positivity in the Native American culture, and most believe that they draw in the comfort from this spirit animal. So most of them, you know, draw in the comfort, you know, of the spirit animal. I kind of wrote that in a little crazy way. So in Christianity, and this is really cool too, the butterfly means resurrection and is closely related to Jesus in describing Jesus's death, burial, and then resurrection. So that's 3 again. So the butterfly is related to the number 3. And number 3 is really important because it's all about creation. So it's a very cool, you know, symbol to see and to recognize and to acknowledge, you know, as coming into your own life. In Celtic, it means rebirth. So the Celtics take this symbol of making better choices. They use the symbol and they use it for making better choices when life presents a second chance, so the caterpillar to the butterfly, it's getting a second chance at life. Renewal and rebirth are always available to us humans. And that is so true. Every single day of your life, you can create a whole new life, a whole new attitude, a whole new idea. I have this one friend, and he's so funny. He has a son, and his son's, sort of on a little bit more of the, the glass is half empty, I want to say. And so he told his son, he said, you can wake up every single morning and ask, the universe, what great things, what beautiful things are going to happen to me today. Or you can say, oh gosh, I don't know what's going to happen, and I hope nothing bad happens. And he said, but if you do it the other way, like I said to you, that all good, then you're waking up with this beautiful attitude for the world. And, once again, allowing with that wu wei for all the goodness to come to you. It's so much fun, so much better, and much easier to live, not quite so heavy on your heart. So anyway, butterflies are a means of drawing your attention to your personal growth cycle and examining your personality parts that need renewal. They help drive you to navigate life with lightheartedness and grace, and to not fear going into metamorphosis if your soul needs it. So during metamorphosis, which is it changes, all that inside you needs improvement, renewal, and change to emerge stronger, better, and vibrant for the world. So the meaning of butterfly colors is joy and light, which make this your driving force. You can change is never easy, but by concentrating on the colorful part of the process, you will find the strength to complete it. So that's really cool. And then the butterfly power animal is colorful, and by extension encourages you to associate with brightness and aliveness. The biggest thing right now that I'm feeling, and this is like in the world in general, is that we're all sort of like sitting around in that wu wei state, but more in like that wu wei state of what I said with the glass is half empty. If we really start to step forward, and think about, what it is that we want, this is a time where you can sit and you can sort of figure out, who am I? Where am I? Where's this God spark that's within me that I can really bring out into the world and start creating what it is that's, important for me and for the world. There's so many things. We all have a purpose in our lives. And this time right now is a great time to find out what that purpose is. So it's really cool. We have time to do it now. And it's so interesting and so much fun, to convene, like I said, with nature, ask for answers, ask lots and lots of questions. That's like the biggest thing. I always tell everybody that the more questions that you ask, the more answers you're going to receive. So hang on a second. Let me see Brightness Lab. So you can perhaps take this as a message to make your life more colorful too, with the butterfly, with the colors, by the way. You can also dress, a lot more colorful, like I have on actually bright pink pants right now. So it's kind of funny. The Monarch Butterfly signals a time for personal growth, internal change, perception of our place in the world, and finding contentment. And then, like I said, so I have a friend that I call her the Butterfly Whisperer, and she actually sent me, have you ever seen the chrysalis that the butterflies turn into? They're like the little pods. I don't know if we have the pictures or not, because I know we're having some technical difficulties, but anyway, they're really, really pretty. They're like this beautiful turquoise color, almost like what we were talking about with Earth's core, how she's turning into this beautiful crystal core. And it just feels to me like it's almost that exact same color. It's so cool, because if you equate Earth right now, she's in that chrysalis state, like, do you see it right there? This beautiful chrysalis right here off to the right. And so anyway, so that's the color of the Earth's core right now, but it's even brighter. And I have to tell you, if you see this chrysalis in person, it has these little gold specks, and I'm talking like really gold, like they're sparkly. It's like a sparkly gold that's on these chrysalis. It's the neatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And like I said, this is at my friend's house, and I call her the Butterfly Whisperer because she's been amazing at, keeping these butterflies safe. I guess wasps actually eat the caterpillars before they can turn into these gorgeous beings. And so let's go to the one where there's the three of them all together. Yeah, that chrysalis is so beautiful. Let's do the next one. That one's really gorgeous. Aren't they just beautiful? I mean, she's done such a beautiful job raising these butterflies. It's so amazing. There's 2 of them. And then I think the next one, yeah, there they are. There's all 3 of them together. Isn't that the most beautiful thing you've seen? I mean, just so gorgeous. And it's on a jade plant too, which is so beautiful, which means money. Jade plants help us bring money into our lives in abundance. So very, very cool that they're appreciating the jade plant as well. So cool. All right. Thanks so much for that, Tiff. Okay. So the next thing I have to talk with you about is so funny, like I said. So I've been not feeling so good. So I've been sitting in the backyard a lot, just trying to get a little bit of sun, for vitamin D, and also to convene with nature because it's really good for me. I love it. It helps soothe my heart, and my energy gets better whenever I'm around the natural world. So anyway, so while I was sitting out there, I had this osprey. Now this is so cool. She's on the top of this huge pine tree. And right now, all of the birds, it's spring. So, everything is breeding and, babies are being born and there's all kinds of cool stuff that's happening in the natural world right now. So she was up there just flagging her wings, just trying to get my attention and yelling at me at the same time. And it was funny because when she was doing this, because it's across the street, this bird was across the street from my house. But I was in the backyard, which is funny because this is at the front yard of my house. And so she's out there just just trying to get my attention. And I was feeling not so good. And so I just couldn't tap in. I was just like, I don't know what you have to say. I've got a headache. I don't feel good. I'm just going to sit here. And she was like, that's okay. I understand. And I forget what else she said. And it was pretty profound, but I didn't write it down because I was, of course, not in the state of mind to do it. I was just hanging out in the backyard. So anyway, so she had a wonderful message, which I will get another time, but and I'll make sure to convey it to you all as well. But at the same time, I just thought it was so neat that I actually was able to capture her with her wings up like that. Now, in totems, that's how they see them. Like in Indian totems or any kind of totem that you see, the birds are always with their wings spread. Hardly are they ever with their wings down, and sitting on a tree or something. So I just thought that was so neat because I've never seen it before. And there it is. It's a cool display of these gorgeous animals that we have around us and how they really show themselves to us. So she's yelling at me, but anyway, so she is called an osprey. Now ospreys are down here in Florida and they're quite large. They're very large birds and they're gray and white and they're absolutely gorgeous. And they're extremely cool. I mean, just neat birds. And they're usually water birds. They like, fish. So they're mostly associated with solar forces, meaning they're associated mostly with the alchemy of fire, which is so cool. So it is symbolic of the strength and intensity of the sun. Its ability to work over all 3 elements of land, sea, and air help associate osprey with transformative and transmutative functions. Now, this is like so cool because like I said, I've been really interested. This is what I'm saying to you all. These are the gifts that are, oh, Melissa, thank you. So pretty. It's good to see you, girl. So anyway, so it's really interesting because these signs that have been happening to me all week long, everything is related. Like I said, like this one, same thing, transformative and transmutative functions, really interesting how I'm seeing it and getting the same message from, the butterfly to now the osprey. So I want you guys to really try to, in your own lives, put together these messages, and then you can really see what's the most important message of them all. And for me, I really do feel like, I am transforming into, I don't know what yet, but I'm working on something, I'm sure, just because, like I said, they've sat me down and said, hey, you got to get with the program here. So anyway, so it's an important symbol in spiritual and esoteric activities. It is a symbol of strength and power to those who view it. And it is a symbol of keen vision, seeing its prey clearly and not being blinded by the sun as it dives towards its target. It is a true hunter with speed, agility, power, and precision. And it is a symbol of majesty and power, having control over its own fate. It is also a symbol of royalty as it is confident in its stature and capacity. So it helps with a sense of being able, let's see, hang on a second. Being adept at any environment and focused on one's goal. So it helps with a sense of being adept in any environment and focused on one's goal. One can excel in any environment, which is so cool. That's really nice because I'm hoping that I'd stay in Florida, but you never know. You get to move all over the world sometimes. It associates itself with confidence backed by capability, and one can learn about their own strengths and capabilities from Osprey spirit. This then leads to trust in abilities and have the confidence to know that they can achieve their goals. So it's another aspect of that transformation. You know, the butterfly was all about the number 3 and bringing in the transformation. And then now the Osprey is continuing the same message, but also adding on. So the Osprey is connected with Hermes and Mercury, which they're both swift in flight. And well, actually the Osprey is too. Swift in flight and sure in its path. Because of this, they are linked to communication and divine inspiration, which is really what I've been trying to do is tap in. And once again, like I said to you, you know, you have your divine self, you have your God spark within you. If you can really focus on that, it puts you in that state of peace. It's really the coolest state. I mean, this morning I was laying on the couch and I was like, because I couldn't sleep in my bed. And so I went out to the couch for a little while. And when I went out there, I was asking, okay, show me, you know, what it is that, show me my divine self. Like, what would my divine self look like? And all of a sudden, you know, through my own eyes, it felt like everything was at peace. It was like I saw the world just being perfect, like absolutely perfect. This beautiful, unconditional love and everything else, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute. But there's some angels that have come in and have been helping me with this. And we'll talk about them in just a minute because they want to be acknowledged today too. So it remains a powerful symbol of heavenly sources, which is another aspect that's the Osprey are bringing in, which is so much fun, right? So this is really cool. So this is, like I said, so related to each other. You get what I'm saying? So in your own life, if you're paying attention to these signs and symbols, like I said, with me being not feeling good, you know, being under the weather for a whole week now, actually, this all started on Tuesday last week. And actually, so it's been over a week because today's Wednesday. So yeah, so it was very depressing. And I was like, what in the world is this? Instead, I said, okay, all good. Not going to go there. Going to recognize the gifts that are being given to me right now. Try not to get frustrated, although you are human and I'm human, so we do. But anyway, try to stay out of that state as much as you can and move into the state of bliss, you know, recognition that you are able to rest now. Take it as a gift, you know, recognize all that is good and be appreciative of everything in the world. So I was at my mom's house yesterday and it was really cool because she has a bird's nest at her house. And I just love this, you know, with all that. Oh, it's 333 right now. I love that. Talking about threes. It's a great number. So anyway, so the birds are at her house and she has actually a Cardinals nest at her house and it's in the vent on the outside. And it's really funny because she said that the female cardinal is a little aggressive sometimes. You know, if you get too close, she kind of comes out and says, do not get any closer. So it's really cool. My mom said it's really neat to see them, you know, flying back and forth. And they fly like over to the neighbor's house, so, you know, to get food. And then they come back to their little babies and stuff. So she's really excited. She's like, I guess it's only eggs right now. And so she's excited. She's hoping that she'll be able to see little baby cardinals eventually, if the mama will let her. So she's looking forward to that. But in the meantime, cardinal represents love. And you kind of already know that because of the color being red. But it also has a lot more meanings than just that, which is so much fun. So cardinals represent luck, actually, manifestation, devotion, setting boundaries, loyalty, and domestic harmony. They can show up as messengers to encourage you to keep pushing towards your goal, which once again is something that I said to you that's so important for me right now with this project, or to give you comfort after the loss of a loved one or a pet. It can be a sign of good luck to see cardinals frequently. There's a big lesson that cardinals are here to show you is how to feel more comfortable, secure, and to have strong sense of belonging in your own reality of where you're at right now. And then to also find your unique circle of life vortexing around you, so you have like all these beings. Remember I talked to you guys about beings? They're so cool. There's so many beings right now that are out there. It's insane. I actually need to tap in. I'm hoping this week I'll be able to tap in with quite a few of them. There's one of them is actually, we'll talk about them in just a minute, but anyway, there's all these beings that are everywhere, all around us. So one is you're never alone. Even though you can't see them, you can feel them, or maybe some of you can hear them. I don't know, but either way, they're there. And there's all kinds. It's really, really interesting because you have your totem animals, which I absolutely love. And then you have, which are these guys right here that are coming in for me right now. They're actually, forming up into reality so that I can actually get the real clear message from them. And then, so that's cool. And then let's see what else. You have angels. You have your loved ones that have passed, transitioned. You have your animals that have passed. They hang out with you too, which is so cool too, by the way. You can feel their energy around every now and then. And then you have, you have spirit or source. And then you have your guides. And then you also have other beings that have stepped in to assist you with whatever it is that you're going through at this time. So it's really, really interesting, what happens with us during this whole process of being. I'll give you another example, and this is really cool. When I used to ride the horses, I would have my, they were like the grand masters, like literally, and I'm not kidding, they call themselves like the grand masters of equestrian. And they were up in the etherical state, and I'd be riding, and they literally would tell me what to do with each horse. It was the coolest thing. I had such a connection with them, and they were, like I said, they were like the grand masters. So they really helped me create whatever it was I needed to do here on earth. So that's opening up to the knowledge and the great wisdom that is out there in the world. You can ask, you can say, if you were in a profession, it doesn't matter what you are. If you're a doctor, you can always ask. You can say, hey, can all of you beautiful grand master doctors, come down and help me, tell me what to do, be confident, help me with my confidence, or help me with whatever it is that you're going through. Or even just knowledge, just learning more wisdom, getting more wisdom with them. And that's the whole thing. I mean, like I said, I innately knew exactly what to do with all these horses that would come into my barn. And it was like, and I didn't take a lot of lessons, as a child. I had some lessons, but we were not able to really afford them. So I just tried to learn as much as I could from other people. But I also asked all the time, what do I do with this? What do I do with that? And right there, the answers came. So it's really cool. So you have a team of people that can help you up there as well, or beings, I should say, that are grandmasters or, professionals, whatever it is. It's really, really neat. So don't forget you have them as well to always ask to help you, which is really fun. So anyway, so the Cardinals, back to them. This goes beyond the love of a relationship. So hang on a second. Let me go back to what we were talking about. Oh, here we go. They bring, so the big lesson. Okay, so they bring luck and abundance. And this relates to the red bird stimulating your root chakra, which is really cool. The manifesting center that allows you to bring things into your reality that are in a higher alignment to your true self. So that's your root chakra, helps you with that manifesting, and it's really, really neat. There's other chakras that help you with manifesting too, but the root is very good for that as well. They show what you deserve to have in life, which is the coolest thing. I love that about the cardinal. They are also a metaphor for unconditional love because they mate for life. And then this goes beyond the love of a relationship and stretches to include the unconditional love of the universe and the divine connection that we all have. So right now, this is what we're working towards on earth, here on earth, is to, create more for all of us, create more love so that we can really heal earth and heal ourselves in turn, because we are part of earth, which is really, really cool. They can also be a sign that you are being contacted by your angels, spirit guides, or loved ones that have transitioned. So finding a cardinal in your yard represents windows of opportunities that are available to you if you take action and follow your heart. They teach you how to live life on your own timeline. Now that's really cool. If you think about that, it's a little deep sometimes. So you're learning how to live life on your own timeline so that you can take advantage of your gifts that are uniquely special to you. I don't watch the news ever at all. I hear stuff, but I got to tell you, in my world, there are only unicorns rainbows and dragons, and that's it. Nothing else. And, I feel like that's a good place for me, because all I'm trying to do is bring good into the world and live good back, and so what you put out, it's like what is it? It's the infinity sign. What you put out, you get back. So if you just constantly put out love and appreciation and, gratitude, then that's what you'll get back. So just try to hang in there and keep doing that. They also show you that your inner wisdom gives you all the tools you need to achieve success. They are a sign of luck and abundance. So pretty cool birds for sure. And they wanted to be recognized on the show today. And also, once again, they're being pulled into my life to help me recognize that I am lucky. I'm very, very lucky. Along with everybody here, we're all lucky in our own way. We have luck with us. And we make our own luck in the sense of like where we have this belief, or these ideas for ourselves, and once again, that falls into that divine spark that's within us. And we're putting it out into the world and creating these beautiful, beautiful things. Even if you hold the door open, oh my gosh, I have to tell you this. This was really, really cool. So I was at Dunkin' Donuts because I get coffee in the morning, and not all the time, but sometimes. And no, it's a bad habit. But so I got behind this car, and what was in front of us was this big older SUV, and it was kind of jacked up just a little bit. And so I'm in my little car behind it, and I was like, wow, that thing. And it was a little bit loud. And it had these stuffed animals that were like hanging off the back of it. And I thought, what in the world is that? And then there was a little bumper sticker that wasn't quite so positive. And then I thought, oh, I wonder what that's about. And every single time the line would move, the girl that was driving it would like kind of jet it, like put on the gas pedal and go really fast up to like the next thing, like almost like she was being a little impatient. And then she looked out the window, and when she got to the, where you order, that little area, and she had pink hair. And I was like, oh, she can't be so bad. She's got pink hair. And I thought, that is so cool. I love your pink hair, and I said that in my mind. And in the meantime, though, I have my dog with me. And so I'm petting my dog, my dog's looking out the window and all this other stuff, because she likes to go for a ride in the morning with me to Dunkin' Donuts. So anyway, so I'm in the line. And so then she kind of jets it up to the window, and I'm putting my order in. And then I get up to the window. Well, I turn around and look, and, because I don't know why, but the delay there was pretty long. And so she's gone. And so I get up to the window, and the lady goes, oh, you don't have to worry about it. You're paid for. And she said that the person in front of you paid for your Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I think I got a donut or something. And she goes, and this is like the coolest part. She said that, and she left extra money for you to buy something for your dog. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that was the sweetest thing ever. Not only did she buy my breakfast for myself, but she also bought, something for my dog I just thought that was the neatest thing in the whole wide world, because, I hadn't ordered anything for my dog, which is maybe kind of rude of me, and I just thought, wow, that is the neatest thing ever that this girl did that. And how thoughtful, right? And once again, I wasn't really judging her. I was kind of putting out love to her. As I was sitting there, I was like, wonder what the stuff, I was wondering with discernment. I wasn't judging like in a bad way. I was just kind of like, wonder what those are. And then I loved her pink hair. So it was really interesting how, you put that energy out once again, and you really misconceive what's going on, because obviously she was in a hurry. I mean, she was in a hurry because she kept driving really quickly to get, up. And it was just the neatest thing, you guys. I mean, a really, really cool, it brings back faith in the world for me, not that I don't have that already, but, it's just proof. It's like the universe proves to us every single day, that there is beauty, there is love, and there is absolute, just unconditional, love, basically, and then beliefs, everything. It's all right in front of us, and we just have to see it or pay attention to see it. So then that way we can really receive it. And once you receive it, then you can put it right back out. And then once again, it's that, the infinity sign. So the more you put out good, the more you're going to get back good, and you just constantly do it. You just catch yourself, be like, I'm not going to be saying anything negative. Nope, I'm going to be doing this. And if you're thinking it, you'll be like, okay, what's the sign? Where's the sign? Because I had some not so favorable things happen to me this week as well. And it really perturbed me a little bit. And I thought, I'm not going to let it get to me. No. And then, you know, what came to me though, it was really interesting, is the next morning after this had happened, that song from Heart, Barracuda, came up, and I was like, what does Barracuda mean? So I looked up spirit animal Barracuda, and it was really cool. It was really, really neat spirit animal to like bring up at that moment in time. And it did, you know, help me recognize and understand what I was thinking and where I was and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. You know, the universe is always showing us, you know, these signs, giving us signs to help us, you know, work through our with discernment, or work through our judgments, or work through our trials and tribulations, work through anything at all. There's signs there. So Robin says, hello all. I have doves, robins, and finches around my house. Oh, how cute. Your name is Robin and you have robins. That's so sweet. Christine said, how sweet. So cute. So, all right. So next, there's one more flying being that we're going to talk about. That's an animal. Yeah, we have plenty of time. And it's so cute because it goes hand in hand with the butterfly. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because the bee actually flew up to me when I was sitting out in the backyard today before the show. And it said that it wanted to be recognized because bees are so important for us in this lifetime. And, you know, with pollinating for us and helping us out. And then, of course, you know, we were thinking that they were going to go absolutely extinct, which thank goodness they have not, which is so amazing. And like, even with me, with my flu, you know, that I've had here recently with the sinus infection, all that kind of stuff, you know, I'm trying to eat honey, a lot of honey, you know, to help my body heal. And it's just so amazing. Yeah, Linnell. So cute. She goes, buzz, buzz, buzz. I know, they're so much fun. So anyway, so the yellow of the bee represents honey and the sun and the energy from which it gets life. So that's the reason why honey is really good for us, because it brings back our life source. And I didn't really get that until I talked to the bee today. It was such a neat thing to hear. And I thought, no wonder honey is so good for you. I wish I liked it more, because the only time I ever eat honey is when I'm sick. So anyway, so the bee can be a reminder to be productive in our daily lives and give back to the world in the best way possible. Now that brings me to, once again, this goes into all of these signs that are happening to me right now, you know, and so the bee shows up. And then, you know, I already told you about the Dunkin' Donuts story. The bee shows up, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's talking about the best way to give back to the world, which is so much fun. So bee shows up when you get sidetracked from your goal and wants to become more focused. It can inspire you to rethink the project and change your lifestyle. Actually, it can. Sorry, I did that wrong. It can inspire you to rethink and change your lifestyle. The project's what I'm working on, so I just wrote project in there on my own. So anyway, so bees carry ancient wisdom and knowledge, which I thought was the coolest thing. So right now, we're looking for the magic in the world. Well, bees are one of the beings that has this, you know, ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom. And it's really neat because you hear people, they go and they talk to bees quite a bit, because bees have this way of explaining things. It's really neat. So they can travel to the other world and bring back messages from the gods. Many ancient traditions and mythologies share this belief. Now, once again, you have these beekeepers, you know, that walk in with all these bees and they land on them. And I didn't know this, but I thought this was so cool, and it makes total sense, is that they go in and they actually ask for permission to enter the hive. And so, you know, the bees acknowledge and say yes by, I guess, landing on them. And then they walk in. Now, if the beekeeper dies, then the next person that comes in has to tell them about the beekeeper dying, or transitioning, I should say, and that they are going to, and then they have to ask permission if they are allowed to replace the beekeeper that had transitioned. And I thought, that is so cool. I mean, bees are very powerful little beings, truly unbelievably cool. So they help make the possible or the impossible possible. And when you think about it, the reason why is because, and this is where they get this, is that they're, you know, they have these big fat bodies, especially the honeybees, or the bumblebees. The bumblebees, they're the ones, and they have little teeny tiny wings, and they're so cute, you know, to look at. But they definitely defy, you know, nature. They defy it. It's really, really cool, or science, I should say. They defy science. And so it's amazing how they can fly with those little tiny wings and be really fast as well. I mean, they're slower than the other ones, but they're still fast. And so that being said, they symbolize achieving the impossible, which, to be honest with you, with this project that I've got coming up, it does feel like it's going to be impossible. And because it's just something I've never, ever done before. And it's daunting, very daunting. So anyway, so I'm excited that the bee came to me and said that, yes, achieving the impossible, I will definitely be there. And we will talk more about this project in the future as I get more into it. Probably into the end of May I'm hoping that I'll have more information on that. So anyway, so you can see how everything is related to each other in this whole thing. And it's so much fun to, like I said, live your life and recognize and realize that you have all of these signs, these symbols to help you really get through what it is that's going on in your life. And all you have to do is ask. Once again, when I said to you in the very beginning that, in the book, they said that you want to learn that I learned a few things, and one cannot be helped until she seeks help. One cannot be taught until she tries, and one cannot be answered unless she asks. And that is huge, I have to tell you. And I always forget to ask. I mean, I really do. It's like I just sit quietly and go, why is this happening? I mean, I don't really ask like the right question, like what can I do to make this better would be the right question. So ask, but ask the right questions so that you can get the answer that you really do want, to know the answer to. All right. So there's one more thing that I want to talk about before I go. And it's really interesting. And so it's funny because I went to my friend's house just recently and we were talking and I was asking questions and just wondering. And because when I lived in Ohio, I actually was hearing that there were benevolent beings that I was going to be introduced to here at my own house when I moved back to Florida. I was going to be introduced to benevolent beings that never existed. And I thought, that's like so interesting. Benevolent beings that have never existed. I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, so when I first got back, I was a little overwhelmed. And then after a couple of weeks of being here, I started seeing these beings, and I never really paid attention and acknowledged them to the point that I should have. I was so busy trying to get some, things going, and with COVID, and it's all that stuff. So anyway, just recently, because I've had to sit down and relax for probably the past, I would say, 7 weeks or so, they've really made themselves quite clear, and they're saying that they absolutely want me to start recognizing them and to bring the energy forward. So anyway, so this is what I got. Oh wait, Robin says, hang on a second. She says, I forgot. She's talking about the bird still. So she says, I forgot they all make a nest in my hanging plants. Oh my gosh, that's great. And she says, I let my daughter take my plants. Well, the doves were upset. I made her bring my plants back. The doves are happy now. That's like so funny. I know they definitely protest when they're being disturbed, aren't they? They're so cute. Animals help us recognize what it is that they want. And it's true. Even the butterflies have talked to Jen about, it's really cute to have talked to Jen about where they want to be and how they want to be there as well. And she's just read them so clearly and has, like I said, repopulated the earth with Monarch Butterflies just on her own over there at her home, which is really neat. So anyway, so back to the beings. So these beings that I've been introduced to, they're Seraphine. And what they are they're the angelic beings. And it's really interesting because I was talking to my producer, Tiffany, about this, and she is really, really cool. Oh no, Robin, she lost me. So anyway, so she's really cool because she's very adept at the angelic, with the angelics in the angelic realms. So I was asking her about the Seraphine as well. So anyway, so Seraphine is a group of angels, and it's really interesting because they're all about now being angels. Of course, they're at the highest realms, up there near source. And so anyway, and so what they are, it's so cool. They're actually right at, let's see, I said it earlier. So Seraphine are us at the Godhead, which is the point at which creation manifested. So that's right where they are at, which is a really cool thing. So anyway, what they wanted was for me to acknowledge them and to share them with you today. They want to be acknowledged again in the future, which we will talk about them as we move forward, because there's more information to come from them. And but I thought this was such a cool story, because the whole thing is that it falls into these beings that, with the birds and then the bees and then the butterflies, all of them came together to give me one message. And the Seraphine are also part of this message, because this project that I'm talking about is all about unconditional love, at the highest of levels, along with magic, a lot of magic. And it's going to be really, really cool. So I'm really excited that they're going to help out with this project. However, they're also helping out with the rest of the world, bringing unconditional love to the world and helping all of us. So what they want you to do, as I'm speaking, they want you to call them in. And once again, they're the Seraphina angels. So it's not Seraphim, because that's just one part of them. This is the whole group. You want the whole group there, because you want like a plethora of angels around you to help you with this, because this is a big job to bring in unconditional love to Earth, especially right now. Earth right now, I've noticed, even in my area down here, because everybody's moving to Florida, by the way. So the energy has shifted and changed. I can't even tell you, because they're moving here. They're not just here on vacation, whereas before they were here on vacation, so everybody's kind of happy and relaxed and happy-go-lucky. And now they're coming to Florida and, causing terrible things. So it's really interesting. But anyway, so this is what I'm talking about. So if you have this whole, this whole group of angels, which is really important to have them. So I'm going to tell you about them, because they're really neat. So they're Seraphina angels, and what they are, they're protected. And this is why I love them so much, is that their stars, their galaxy or whatever, is all protected by 4 unicorns. So the unicorns are at the corners of their area that they're in, which is really, really neat. They're goddess energy. They're the group of feminine goddess energy. So that's all about love and joy and compassion, but mostly right now, they want to really impress unconditional love and joy. I can tell you right now what I've been doing lately, and this is really fun, except for I shouldn't say lately, because I'm not feeling so well, but I've been doing this, and I've really been trying hard to do this for myself, especially to maintain that, energy of gratitude and love and joy. And so I try to do something fun every single day. Like, I'm not kidding. Every day I try to do something fun or something special for myself. So like, say, this isn't me, because I don't eat ice cream, but some people, they could go get an ice cream cone or something. Even that alone brings joy, whatever, or go watch a sunset, or just go outside and sit with a tree for 5 minutes. All of that stuff brings joy to your heart and settles you. Then you are emanating that out into the world. The more that we work together on this, the more we're going to be able to really bring more into the world. And that's what Seraphine is about, which is really cool. So anyway, they're a higher dimension, like I said. So they're way up there, right by God. And they have, this is like so cool, because they're working with the energy of love. And how I see them, so neat, is that they're pink and gold. That's what colors they are. And they have the prism, they have the rainbow ray, which means that they're all colors together at once as well. So it's really interesting. So the other day because I can see, which is a lot of fun when I'm relaxed, just recently, it was a lot of fun. I actually saw them, and they were dancing, and they weren't really beings. They were just ribbons. Like, it was like there were these big, beautiful, like ribbon, like flowy beings, and they were twirling in counterclockwise, and they were doing like a spiral. And it was the neatest thing. They were dancing, and then another one, and there was 3 of them that were dancing in the middle of the room that I was sitting in. And I just thought it was the coolest thing to see them there. Of course, everybody else was there too. But like I said, there's a plethora of them, because they're one group, Seraphina. And so anyway, so it's really neat. So they're bringers of light, pink light actually, and they want you to call them in. So like I said, Seraphina is what you want to call them, and to definitely they want you to build and acknowledge that part of love that's within you, for sure. And then they're, let's see, what else are they saying here? They want us to hold the space to pour their love like energy into Earth. So this is why, I'm asking this now. So this is their message to us, to like bring in all this stuff. They want us to bring in love. So it's just all about love. And they said, we are here to receive the energy of love from them. That's what we are doing right now, so that we can emanate that out into the world too. So when you're feeling like, I don't know, like say you're driving down the interstate, or, and somebody cut you off and you're like, call in Seraphine right away. Ask them, say, hey, can you help me with this? Can you erase this? Let's get back to that loving state. I'm going to send them love, send them love, send them love. And what can you do? Send them pink unicorns, just like we talked about in my last show, because they are the best things ever, because they're all about love as well. So Seraphina, they are one with one, which is, so they're one with source. And they're reminding us that we are also one with one. We are all together on this, and I know it sounds kind of, hokey, but it's not. It's really are that we are connected to each other is basically what it is. So the more we send out love, the more we receive love, the more love is emanating out into the world. The animals help us with it. The trees help us with it. The birds are doing that right now. They wanted to be acknowledged in the show today. So they want you to be aware of them, call on them, connect with them, and bring the love energy through them. So you can ask, like I said, ask them to come in to help you with this. They also help let go of the pain from the past to allow for the energy to flow. So like the pain of even Earth, Earth's pain, that she's had a lot of things that are going, yeah, they are. I know, Robin, they've been with me like for a while now. And I know they're with all of us right now because they're really wanting to get this message out there. So it's so cool, right? They feel amazing, by the way. And they can also help you connect into that divine spark that's within you. Like I said, if you want to see like, what does it look like for my divine self? I want to see myself in this divine way, whatever it is that you ask, however you ask for yourself. It's really cool. And they help with that too. So they're connected to your higher heart. So there's a higher heart chakra that we talked about. And that's where that raspberry light comes in. The raspberry color pink is where that is the color of that higher heart. And that's what color these Seraphine are. Anyway, and then with them spinning counterclockwise, they're actually sending the energy up. And so it's really cool. So anyway, so Seraphinas are goddess love. And so call them in and see if that helps you, feel the energy of them everywhere. And once again, it's pink light, or gold light, or even the rainbow light. You can bring all of that in if you want to. It's really, really cool. So it's fun. So anyway, so that's them. And they're very happy that we're talking about them right now. And I'm excited that you all joined me today. Thank you so much. And thank you for your prayers. And I'm on the mend now, so I will definitely be here next week. And we'll see how it all goes. So enjoy your week. Call in your angels. Recognize all the signs, these beautiful signs that are around you that are here to help you at any moment of any time that you need help. You just ask. And all of a sudden, something will show, whether it's a bird at your window, whether it's, a dog licking your leg, it doesn't matter. It's everything. They just, everything will come to you and help you with whatever you need. And it's so much fun. And it's a lot more fun to recognize it. Like I said, like all of these signs that I had for this whole project thing. So anyway, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much.
This month's broadcasting is sponsored by ICU Dr. Lauren Love, ICU nurses, technicians, and staff in the Boston area hospitals.